Hello everyone, and today we're going to talk about PS Vita and what future PS Vita has in 2019. After basically the console was abandoned by Sony since 2015, I don't think there are any new games came, especially for the EU and American market. As far as I know, the console is really popular in Japan, but unfortunately yeah, it seems like the life of the console it comes to an end, which makes me very sad, as basically I'm a big fan on Sony, and I'm really not happy that Sony gave it up on making a new handheld device for now. Uh, yeah, basically there are two main models. This is as it can be called the PS Vita Fat, and this is basically the first model, which everybody consider to be with a better screen. The other model is PS Vita Slim. I don't know if you can find out from the video. Maybe, yeah, it's a little bit different background wallpaper, but in the meantime, maybe there is some slight difference in the games. Maybe I can compare if I play the same game on both of the devices. So unfortunately, I don't think I have the same game on both of the devices. That's interesting. But however, if you are deciding to buy one PS Vita now in 2019, and you're considering if there would be enough games to play on, I would say PS Vita has a lot of games, a big library of games you can play, and also there are plenty of classic games you can play on PS Vita. Also, in my case, both of my devices are actually not not cracked, so basically I can't really download and play games, but in the meantime I can just play the official games. I have a lot of games. This is one of my devices, and yeah, there is actually the games you can see. Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man is the game I would recommend you. Need for Speed Most Wanted as well is a game I would really recommend you to get. Spider-Man, I mean, I didn't really actually play on the games, in the video, but I just want to to give you some tips if there are some nice games you can go for. Resident Evil 2, this is the game you can actually only purchase from PSN store, and there is a way you can buy a physical copy of the game, but it's going to be import from Japan. I recently checked in eBay, and the cheaper one I found was for about 27 British pounds. That means maybe a little bit more than $30, and this was actually for a used one, so all online codes were already used. So basically, if you want to get a genuine one, I mean, of course genuine, it's always genuine if you buy the original game, but what my point is, if you want to buy an unused one, you might need to, let's say, spend for approximately 60-70 pounds, or let's say nearly $100, which is a lot of money for this type of game, as usually it's not with the best graphics. The thing is that the FPS, it goes down on the Vita. It's not the same experience as you can have on a PS4 or even PS3. There is some retro games you can go. I have The Walking Dead, also The Walking Dead 2, the second season. There no more seasons came for PS Vita. Sonic Transformed, All Stars Racing is as well very nice game. I would recommend you. Dungeon Hunter, well, it's okay. The thing is that I bought myself a Switch only to play Diablo 3 on it. So yeah, I wish if there was any option I can play Diablo 3 on my PS Vita. Of course, you can say about the remote play from PS4, and if I'm honest with you, I didn't really experienced it very well. You need very good Wi-Fi connection, and in the meantime, yeah, you're gonna find it a little bit difficulties because of the controls. Basically, there is another classic game from PS1. I have Resident Evil 2. This is the first Resident Evil, which is the original one. And just to let you know, as I couldn't find it in the PSN store for PS Vita, one of the ways you can purchase this game, you can purchase the game using your PC, or other option is you can purchase the game using using your PlayStation 3. This is exactly where this game also is available for. From. I'm gonna give you a tip. If you play classic games like PS1 games, which were made for PS Vita, when the game starts originally, you're not gonna have a full screen option. Basically, how you can amend this. Okay, let me go ahead with this one. This is something I hope is gonna be helpful for everyone. If you hold the PS button, then you're gonna open another settings menu for the game, and then you can go here, and then you can go other settings, and then when you get to the screen mode, if you go to the original, this is basically how you're gonna find the game, which is not really nice, of course. That would mean that the screen is gonna be very cut and everything, so you're not gonna probably enjoy a lot. I'm just waiting to start the game, and I want to show you what exactly I mean, you know, like, because it took me a while. You see the, let me see, just I'm waiting the game to start. Okay, can I skip this one? So I actually didn't see any option if you can change for the other character. Oh, they grabbed me. Oh. So basically, oh, nearly. If you hold the button, go to settings, you see how the, then you go again other settings, you go original, and then you can to the screen mode, and then you can put it, if it's normal it's going to be like this, if it's zoom it's going to be too much. So full screen mode is basically the mode you need, and then you know, like, you're going to have the game on full screen, which is going to be, oh, I think they grabbed me again. Actually, it's a very nice game. However, my point is not really to play only Resident Evil 2, the classic game. I just wanted basically to show you how you can change the screen when you're playing PS1 classic games. So I'm gonna close it now, and I'm gonna move to my other device, PS Vita Slim, which is the other console. I feel it a little bit better, and I'll tell you why. Basically, this is something very, very important. If you see the touchpad on the PS Vita Fat, okay, let me go like this one by one, because otherwise it's gonna be harder for me. If you go, this is the PS Vita Fat, you see, accidentally I found it, you know, like, I found it very difficult in some games, because accidentally I was moving something on the back touchpad, which actually affected my gameplay, and this is what I didn't really enjoy that much playing on the PS Vita Fat. But in the meantime, if you play on the PS Vita Slim, there is this touchpad is a little bit smaller, so how to say, it's a smaller chance you're gonna press it by mistake. In the other hand, basically the PS Vita Fat seems to have a better display, you know, even if it's the first model, it seems to have the better display than the PS Vita Slim. Something unusual. I have a good collection of classic games actually here on this PS Vita. I have Parasite Eve 2, and I was going to tell you, if you're looking for these games, most of the games I purchased on a very, very decent price from PSN store. This is So River, I think. Oh, sorry, I wasn't planning really, but anyway, I cannot cancel at that point. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see. Need to probably wait for the first. Okay, I can stop it now. Just close the app. There is one game I really enjoyed, Dead Nation. I don't know if you liked it, it's quite fun one. It's a little bit difficult. I also purchased in very good prices when there were sales. Uncharted, I think I got this game for about £6-7. I need to check, but I think it's very good for the game. Also Borderlands 2 as well, I purchased it for a very good price. So just my advice is look whenever there are some sales, because you can buy really good Spy Hunter. Right? This one is actually, I have the cartridge inside the Vita. This one I bought it from eBay, and this is something else I wanted to tell you. You check in eBay, because sometimes you might find a lot of games on very, very good prices. I mean, I'm just gonna have a look what they have in PSN store at that point, as basically now after the device is gonna be no longer supported by PlayStation, I mean, there will be no more PS games. Basically, the model will be retired. There will be no more new sales on anything. I'm just curious if there is still a good library of games. I don't think actually the library of games will be affected so early, but as you see, for example, this game, I don't think it's easier to be found on physical copies. £40, which is quite a lot. I just want to check how much is Uncharted now, because I really bought the game on a very cheap price, and I'm just curious how much is the price of the game at the moment after a few months after I bought it. You have Jack and Dexter the trilogy for £15. You have Ratchet and Clank trilogy for £20. Actually, this was about basically the price I could see it even in eBay, even for a new copy. Back in the days in Amazon, you have The Walking Dead. Alright, let's see. Okay, Uncharted. Well, now it's £20. Well, I bought it much cheaper. You have Unit 13 for £89. There are plenty of games actually you can buy for a good price, and as well a lot of games, unfortunately, quite still a big price from my opinion. Well, I just want to compare how much is Borderlands 2 at the moment. So I bought Assassin's Creed Chronicles and Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation for £15. The other one is £19. Still plenty of games. As you see, Batman. I mean, I have this Batman. I have it in a physical copy. I bought it brand new. Unfortunately, I don't know why, I didn't really enjoy that much. I tried the game, I played for a while, but then I kind of gave it up on it. Borderlands is, well, £20. Well, it's quite a lot, but still, it's not a bad game. If you compare the prices for some other game consoles, let's say, it's still cheaper. The only thing is that, of course, you cannot really expect the new games coming on, and this is the other good thing. You have a lot of PSP games, and of course, some of them are like cheaper, some of them not that cheap for old games, but still, I just want to browse around. I think somebody asked me in the comments in one of my previous reviews about the PSP and what games are available in the PSN store. So I just want to be clear about something. If you have a PSP console, you won't be able to log in the PSN store and browse the options and what kind of games. The only option, if you have a PSP, is going to be if you log in to your PSN store and just you have an access to your downloads. So every game which is going to be available to be played, which can be run by your PSP, you will be able to download the game and install the game on your PSP console. But I just want to tell you something. I've done it once. First of all, you need to change more likely your router settings. This is what I had to do in order to log in the PSP console to the Wi-Fi, as unfortunately at the time the PSP was launched, there were a bit, different system about the security settings of the routers and everything. So you more likely won't be able to connect straight away your PSP. So you need to change your router settings for a little bit until you're logged in. Then when you're logged in, you need to go to the PSN store and then you can download the game, which in my case took quite a while. I believe is because of the system specs of PSP console. It took me quite a while, and then it took another, I think 20-25 minutes to install the game. And this is about a PS1 classic game, which I believe should go even faster. I don't know what's gonna happen in case there is some game, let's say, with, some bigger game. The game was about 700 megabytes I installed. I don't know if it's some game like 2-3 gigabytes. Maybe it's gonna take an hour until I install the game. You have Driver, you have a lot of games. Actually, I have the Driver, the classic one. On this one I have bought from from the PSN store, but the PS1 classics. But I just wanted to browse a little bit the PSP games as I was asked. It's a big selection of games. Wow, as you see, you have a PSP game for £25, which is quite a lot. But most of the games, they're literally, as you see, you have for £3, you have for £7-8. It's still quite cheap a price. If you want to buy, let's say, 7-8 games, easily you can spend about £60-70, which is about, let's say, $80-90 US. It's not really easy. I mean, not easy, it doesn't come really cheap. But this is the one actually I bought from PSP Games, Gran Turismo. Unfortunately, there is no Gran Turismo launch for PS Vita. So if you want to play Gran Turismo on PS Vita, one way you can just, play PSP version of the game. just wanna see what they have here. Let's say some survival horror games, maybe. I don't know if they had Silent Hill. There's no Resident Evil for PSP actually, unless you play the classic ones. No, there is no Silent Hill game to launch, so interesting. You have Tekken. It's a lot of games. It's a lot of games. Basically, I would say you'll never like lose if you get one PS Vita, even in 2019. It's a lot of options. I think it's, for me, PS Vita, it's a little bit comfortable than the PSP console. I don't know, maybe because the PSP usually it's a little bit smaller, especially on my PSP Go. I find it a little bit difficult to press the buttons, but especially on the PS Vita Slim, I have no problems. I had the problems on my PSP, on my PS Vita Fat, due to the reason that the back touchpad is too big, and I accidentally was pressing it many times, which actually affected how to say, my gameplay when I was playing Helldivers a lot, and then accidentally I throw a grenade, or I just, you know, recharge the bullets, because in this case, you know, like whatever you have of the previous cartridge, you're losing it. This is what's interesting on the Helldivers. And I have Wipeout. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of games. Wow, WWE All Stars, £25 as well. Game for PSP, from PSP to go to PS Vita, £25. That's a lot, as you said. And also you have an option, you know, like you can come, okay, let's come this way. PS1 games. I have purchased a lot of games from this section, actually, as I was really, how to say, excited to play some of these games like on the go. So I have purchased, I'll show you in a little bit how many and what and to which games. It's basically, the prices for PS1 classic games are much cheaper than, let's say, the prices for the PSP or PS Vita games on the Vita. You know, like, yeah, let's see, Castlevania is maybe the most priced one for £8. I know which ones are actually exactly also priced. Resident Evil. As I said, I'm gonna show you something over here. You can purchase Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis direct from your PS Vita, but if you want to purchase Resident Evil 2, you need to do it from your PS3, but then the game will be available in your downloads. So this is how you're gonna get it once when you purchase it. I have also Silent Hill. Okay, I'm just gonna close for now the PSN store, and I'm just gonna show you what type of games I have here. Actually, I said I have Parasite Eve 2, doesn't really give a big picture. I have Soul River, Crash Bandicoot 3, Crash Team Racing, Driver. This is the Gran Turismo from PSP option. The games I was saying is just the PS1 classic games I have. This one, Blue Diamond, Legacy of Kain, also nice game. What else? Classic games? No, nothing really much I have here. I have Silent Hill, I think I missed it. This is the original Silent Hill game. You can play it on PS Vita. This is very interesting, very nice. I hope with this browsing I kind of showed you what can you buy from the PSN store, and also what type of games you can get and play on your PS Vita console. It's still, I would say, worth it. It's a comfortable, it's nice device. It's a little bit more like portable device than the Nintendo Switch. I have my Switch, as you said earlier. I play mainly like Diablo 3 on it. That's why I was saying I'm really sorry that, you know, like PlayStation didn't make another device which can give, how to say, the option to play Diablo 3 straight away from the device, not as a remote play. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm gonna skip the... But as you see, something very interesting actually on Resident Evil 2, I was unable to choose which character I want. Maybe I need to have a look around. But as you see, yeah, the good old Silent Hill. I don't have anything in the yep, the inventory is empty. Oh, so yep, guys, as you see, the old Silent Hill back on PS Vita. And what I'm gonna do on one of my next videos, I don't know if you like Blizzard Entertainment and the games, I mean the Blizzard games, but I'm gonna show you, actually I have a few classic Blizzard games on my PSP console. They used to be available for PS1. I'm talking about Diablo 1 and Warcraft 2. I also have another real-time strategy game I was playing on PlayStation 1 during 2000. There are like a few more real-time strategies I don't have at the moment, but I'm gonna make one video so you can see how is about the gaming experience on PlayStation Portable. This is about the PS Vita and basically what kind of games you can find, you can buy and you can play in 2019. I hope you like my video and I'll see you soon.